Hey guys, this is Zenia and you're watching Desi Martini. Today we have with us a very special cast and crew members, not crew member, well, director of the upcoming films Shershaah. We have Sidharth Malhotra, we have Kiara Advani, and we have director Vishnuvardhan. Hi guys, welcome to Desi Martini.
Hi,
Hello.
Hi. So, I generally don't falter like this while giving my intro, but I think it's just your effect that I'm doing this. So, please excuse me on that. But
Not at all.
yes, Shershaah is all set to release on 12th August. And Siddharth, this is your first biopic that you are being a part of. And I read somewhere that the story of Vikram Batra, you took it to the production house. So, what's your association with the story and what appealed about the story that you actually presented it to Dharma?
Well, it all started when Vishal Batra and Shabir Boxwala about 5 years ago approached me to play Captain Vikram Batra's role. And Vishal Batra is Vikram Batra's twin brother. And that time was a completely different team, completely different setup. I knew that from day one that this is a film that I want to be a part of. I want to do this role. I obviously was aware of Captain Vikram Batra, but not in so much detail at that time. And it took about 1.5 to 2 years to just realize that it wasn't being made in the way that I thought it should be. And with Vishal Batra's permission, I decided to take this story to my debut production, which is Dharma Productions. And where I feel the ball started rolling and we have this amazing team today. Through Sandeep Srivastav, we got Vishnuvardhan, who has never made a Hindi film, but has such great amount of body of work already. And we are pretty happy that he was interested to make this film to tell the story. And then, to get Kiara to play Dimple's role was just, and piece by piece, everyone was coming together to make this special story. And hopefully now when people see it, post the 12th of August, they see the reason behind it, the effort behind it, and the intention behind it. So yes, it's been a long journey, maybe slightly longer for me, but eventually how it ends is what people think when it releases. That's what matters. So really looking forward to it. Now pretty close to the release.
Yes, absolutely. Also, the fact that it is releasing now, but the shoot was already finished before even the pandemic hit. So, Vishnu sir, when you shot for the film, you must have shot it in details so that when it goes into big screens, we can see all those nitty-gritties, all the details. But maybe we might miss it when it releases on OTT. Is that a factor that is bothering you about the film, or are you okay with it?
See, I'm not bothered. It's just that, you would just miss a theatrical release. That's definitely there because that theater has a different magic all to itself, And not only that, because of the terrain we shot and because of the scale that we shot, it is, yes, no doubt about it's a theatrical film, Keeping that in mind, but in today's given scenario, the biggest advantage that we could have in releasing on Amazon Prime, is in a day you would reach every household for that matter in all the countries, Predominantly, the most important thing that you need to really keep is the story needs to be told. The story needs to reach. The emotion needs to reach. When that reaches, later when you get an opportunity, yes, of course, we would like to see it on screen again later down the line. So I think pretty much the purpose of making the film will be fulfilled. That I'm very happy about.
Absolutely. And given the timing of its release, I think it's very apt because it's just a few days before Independence Day, and a story as impactful as that of Vikram Batra's must be told. Kiara, you play Vikram's fiancée, Dimple Chima, and generally in war films, when it's a war film, the focus isn't too much on the lady love. She's generally shown as this woman who's just pining for a lover or her husband. But Dimple Chima's character is stronger than that. So could you tell us more about it?
the beauty of this film is that Shershaah is a real life story of a war hero, and the bravest person also has, you know, a family, a loved one, a girlfriend, dreams, passions, and that's what really makes it so relatable, and what makes him, you know, because you see his, in 2 hours you'll see his whole journey from a young man to, you know, becoming the ultimate, the Kargil war hero that he is. So I felt like in the story that because Vishnu sir has kept every single thing authentic, the even the personal relationship that he has with Dimple Chima is true to is what, that's their story, and that's what actually happened, and that's such an integral part of his life that it's a part of that is of his journey and the biopic and Shershaah. And that's what intrigued me when that's what immediately connected with me, because I think the film has its heart and soul and emotions in the right place, and you feel that when you you know, when you learn of their story. And every single officer has an army behind them, be it the family, be it his loved one. In our story, it's you know, Dimple Chima, who we've you know, been lucky enough that she shared their story with us, and that, you know, helped us to put it there as authentically, because she knew how integral it was. And she's a very, very strong woman, like you said, because she chose to love this man, and she chose to love him beyond his lifetime, and that itself speaks for her. So I don't want to get into the details of that love story, because I want you to experience it and feel the way I did when I read it, and I, you know, had the pleasure of speaking with her and hearing from her firsthand. But that really moved me, and I felt like, you know, through that you see that personality of Captain Vikram Batra. You see a very strong woman behind the man, and it will hopefully stay with you like it did with me.
Yes, absolutely. We are hoping to see this story, and we are eagerly waiting for it. So finally, that it's releasing, it's a happiness for us fans who had been waiting for the story, who had been hearing reports about this story. But also, you know, when you make a biopic or something that's inspired, that is taken from real life events, the responsibility surrounding the film becomes huge. And there's also pressure to do justice to what you have at hand, the material that you have. So how did you guys deal with that pressure?
Yes, absolutely. Once you play a real life heroic character like Captain Vikram Batra, who's very revered in the Indian Army, or so much is written about him in the public domain, there is that expectation and pressure that comes in. And then when you have to concise his whole life story into, say, 2 hours, you know, you have to take certain liberties to narrate that. But I feel, that being said, pretty much 90% of all the scenes that have happened in the film have some way or the other been narrated by someone, or happened in Captain Vikram Batra's life. So I think we've pretty much tried to follow, which is Vishnu or our writer Sandeep have tried to follow, you know, to keep that authenticity intact. And same goes for me as an actor, to make sure that all the lines that he's rendered in real life, which are very filmy lines, which some of them you've seen in the trailer, which can be said in many different ways. But I opted to say in the most, you know, conversational and real manner, because is what the essence we want to bring out. We don't want to, his story anyways has so much patriotism in it. We don't need to play it up any further. As long as people feel it's believable, I think that's the victory of this special film and this very special story. So I think, yeah, trying to balance it out started from you know, Vishnu and Sandeep coming up with this amazing version of the script, and then the team coming together and executing it.
So, you know, when this film is releasing on OTT, this also is devoid of this box office expectations that is generally associated with the film. you don't have the pressure of living up to a certain box office mark or going to that 100 crore mark. So is that something that is helping you guys when you're looking at it that way? Or are you are you missing the fact that there was a risk factor if it released on theaters, which you won't get? Are you planning to release it later in theaters?
See, it's not the question of risk factor at all, because every film, you just put all your work, effort and hard work and you release it. And yes, we would definitely miss a theatrical release, but that would dictate your market, your business and all these other things, that is definitely there. You can't deny it, And when it comes to an OTT on a thing, eventually the purpose is solved of the film reaching people. That is one thing for the fact, and it is by the end of it, the investors, your producers who have invested the money and the hardships that has gone into, everybody needs to actually, how much of a passion we make it. With that passion, so much of money is being invested and so much of work has gone in, you really want to see the light of it, you really want to see your producers make money by giving great content, and especially a content like this, you definitely want that to happen. And I'm really glad even that is also met in terms of the business and it also reaching the audience. I think by releasing with Amazon, I think I'm really happy about it. I don't think we have anything you want to add on, Sid, to that?
Yes, I feel, we obviously shot it with keeping theaters in mind. Vishnu's set up shots in the action, keeping the big screen in mind. But the main, I feel we anyways have all our previous libraries, whether it's Vishnu's films or my films or Kiara's films, already there on these platforms for people to watch again. This is just going to skip the theatrical release for obvious reasons. For people can watch it safely. People can watch it in the safety of their homes because of the pandemic. So I feel that makes more sense to get a wider release today, to have Amazon onto it. As far as the business is concerned, yes, fortunately or unfortunately, our industry is obsessed with numbers and business, and that's how they gauge a film. But I think we're in the new norm where films or any content is looked for the content and what it's trying to say and tell you in that story, and has it done that? Has it done its job correctly? Has it told you a story correctly that you feel and connect with? I think that's a very interesting phase for all of us, and we're eager and excited to see what people think of our film called Shershaah, and in this new norm, in this new version, and this old and very famous platform, Amazon Prime Video.
Right. So that brings us to the end of the conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kiara. Thank you, Sidharth, and thank you, Vishnuvardhan, for being a part of Desi Martini, and good luck for Shershaah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.